Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Brothers, it is your dude, Mr. International Passport, here again for yet another classic Passport Bro show with the legendary Mr. Theo. As you all know now, it is customary for me to sing the official anthem. Du- 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 du. We would like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bros. We would like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bros. We would like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bros. We
Everything
would like
there is
to
to
welcome
know.
you to
This is our
everything
life.
there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bros show. Let's get it cracking. It's showtime. Let's get it cracking. We got Theo West in the building. I'm hearing feedback, Theo. What's going on there, bro? I'm hearing some feedback, bro. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking. Is it fixed now? Yeah, all good,
Yeah,
Phil.
yeah.
Fantastic. So, brothers, welcome to another interesting show ahead. I got Phil right here. You got me, IP International Passport. I want to say first and foremost, thank you all for the support over the past couple of years. It's been greatly appreciated. And welcome aboard the new people. I accept and I embrace you all with open arms. When you come in tonight, please hit the like button. Likes are extremely important. Hit the like button to show me some support. Hit the PayPal and the super chat donations today. That'd be greatly appreciated. Join the Patreon, of course, and book your consultations with me to get into IT and, of course, cop the merch. Let's get started. So, in today's Passport Bros show and talk, we'll be speaking about a very important topic, and it's regards to Logan Paul, okay, and him marrying a 304. And this is something that's very important that we have to touch upon because this is a situation where men in the West are going to, unfortunately, marry 304s or are married to one right now. And it even applies when you go abroad. But before we touch upon that particular topic, Theo, how you doing today, brother? You good?
I'm doing good. It's doing good in the manosphere. Work is good. Got my laundry done today, so I'm happy about that. New contracts are pretty good. I'm now plotting when I'm going to be leaving the United States again. So I'm just trying to get all that logistics together. That's quite a lot of work, actually. So that's what I've been doing today.
Fantastic, brother. So, brother, do you mind giving us a brief background about yourself? You know, who you are, Theo, and anything interesting about you, bro?
So I'm Theo Lapp. I've been a part of the manosphere about 13 years now, since 2010. I've been to over 40 countries. I've lived abroad over 20 years. I did 16 years in Japan, a year in France, a year in Russia, and then at least 2 months in at least 5 other countries, including the UK and Australia and Singapore. So speak 4 languages: French, Russian, English, Japanese, and I can read Ukrainian, Portuguese, and Spanish rather well. Of those, Ukrainians by far stronger of the other languages. I have a career in security, cloud security architecture in the cloud in AWS, GCP, and Azure. And then my secondary focus is web application firewalls, and I do that in any infrastructure. I do teach, and as long as additionally IP here, he teaches as well. I teach infrastructure in the cloud. IP teaches applications. So it's actually a pretty good synergy between us working. I was married to a Japanese woman. I was married 6 years. Unfortunately, that marriage ended. But I mean, I was actually living there and know a lot about dating in Japan. I know a lot about what's going on and how the system works. I got over $1 million in assets. So I live in my own house. I mean, it's pretty good. I'm having a pretty good situation right now. So what I do is I advise other passport bros, guys, or particularly Black men, not only that they're valued and desired and hunted down abroad, but where they are hunted down abroad and what countries to go to and where they can have a great time in terms of getting a relationship and marriage. So again, I've been working now with IP for like 2 years now, right?
Yes,
And
correct.
it's been a pretty good synergy. So it's want to keep this going, and that's me.
Fantastic, man. Obviously, Theo, we appreciate what you do for the space, the RP space, the passport bro space, the whole space for male self improvement. Thank you for what you do, Theo. So
Mhm.
let's get cracking. So let me let me just give you brothers some contextual background about this guy Logan Paul, right? I have personally known about Logan Paul for a number of years. He went viral for going to Japan and doing some crazy things in Japan, and obviously he's kept up that fame until 2023. He's a man that earns roughly $2 million a month. He's filthy rich and wealthy. Okay,
Mhm.
recently he's proposed to a woman, and this woman is actually a foreign woman. If you by by chance, actually, she's from Denmark, Scandinavia,
Mhm.
and he's proposed to her. In the last couple of weeks, he will go against a boxer called Dylan Dennis, and Dylan Dennis has been exposing his wife, his future wife, as a mega 304. And when I say mega 304, this chick probably got a minimum of 80 bodies, crazy body count. And Logan Paul, seeing what he's seeing on Twitter, is still engaged to her. So, what does this mean, brothers? There's two things here, right? The first thing is that Western men have been beaten down so much that they will take anything that comes their way, even if she's a 304 with a body count of 100. Okay, that is done by the system, by the matrix, and by the agenda. They don't want men to be conservative, and they don't want men to have standards. Why is it every time men say we want a virgin, we want a low body count chick who can clean, who can cook, who's feminine, who's submissive, the mainstream media goes after that man, aka Andrew Tate. Okay.
Mhm.
So we're seeing a lot of young men like Logan Paul with high amounts of wealth, with low wealth or in the middle, settling for 304s in the West. Theo, what's your thoughts about this particular topic and story, bro?
This, honestly speaking, I'm not surprised, and I'm disgusted by it, but I'm not surprised. And it fits well into Coach Greg Adams' marriage wheel. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that tonight. And so, one of the things that he talks about in the marriage wheel is that, of course, when a woman and a man are hit 30, they have two different realities regarding their sexual market value. So the woman's value is decreasing and the man's value is increasing. And the real vulnerability for men is between the ages of 28 and 32. And that's because they have gone so long without a relationship. They have gone so long without any kind of touch, love, anything. And they're starting to actually make something of themselves. That basically the first opportunity for Punani, the guy will jump at it and try to marry it and try to lock it down because he's just been so thirsty for so long.
Mm,
And having an abundance mentality is almost impossible at that point because he's been subjugated to such so much BS, feminism, blah blah blah, in the West. And if he would just sit back and say, "There's plenty of women. I'm 28 years old. I can date a 21-year-old, or I can date a 20-year-old," and most gladly, those women will date him. If he has that kind of mentality, he's going to be at least on the right path. But a lot of guys don't have that, and they're looking at a woman like they've been listening to her so long, don't have any standards. This is the kind of woman you should date, blah 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 blah, and it's led to nothing but frustration to the man. And so when he finally meets someone, he's just hungry for anything. He's like, like a starved little animal. That's it. And I would say I was like this myself in my life, and I have that's why I'm a little bit sympathetic. But I look at this guy and I'm like, you should know better because you are a millionaire. And you know, you hear what this woman is doing, but basically, this guy, my humble point of view, he is running so desperate, and so his mind is so mixed up with self-defeating ideologies that her past doesn't matter. He'll just do anything he can. And this is where the woman gets what's called, for a lot of women, what's called the first marriage. So these women are looking for first marriages. And he is like a good first marriage candidate because all she has to do is marry him, have a baby, and in 2 years, she get 50% of his assets plus alimony plus child support, and then she can go back onto the CC.
Damn. Whoa. And I have two follow-up points there. I think the first point is that there's a reason why the West encourages women to have high standards. Okay? Because if she has high standards, it only means that she's going for the top tier bunch of guys. And there isn't 20 guys like that in that wealth bracket like Logan Paul in the West, or even speaking to you, Phil, directly, there isn't much guys that do what you do, Phil, right? So that means that a small amount of guys are juggling a lot of women. And this is no cap. I've actually heard of one guy handling 50 chicks at once in the UK. It's very possible. So that means the majority of men who are deemed as average are starved of woman, affection, intimacy. So any chick that looks their way, that gives them play or attention, they will jump at it like a shark. Brothers, that is part of the Matrix plan to keep men downbeaten, oppressed, right? And going for any woman. There's a reason why I see a bunch of fat chicks, obese chicks with dudes that I'm thinking, dude, you can do much better than that. But he hasn't got any options. What's your thoughts on that, Theo?
That's entirely correct. A lot of guys don't have the other options, but not only that, they've been indoctrinated that the size 16 Keisha is just as good as the size 0 or the size 2. And he should be happy and pay full price, no matter her history, no matter her degree of health, anything. And they try to rationalize it away. They use a lot of words, but they're only after one thing: resources from the man. And so this is again, I went into the manosphere. What I learned, the first rule that I learned in the manosphere was no asset or no resource transfer to women. So you don't give them your money, your time, your affection, or your attention. Nothing. Instead, you use all of that to build yourself up. That's it. Anything else for her is 0. Because if you give it to her, she is not going to return an equal or greater value to you. She's just going to ask for more and more and more. That's it. It's an endless well. And again, I describe this guy as being as a mangina, to be honest. But when I was that same way, what I thought is that if I gave and gave to a woman, that I would build her up, and eventually her low self-image and everything else would be erased, and I maybe would qualify to have a great relationship with her. And of course, I saw how wonderful she was and everything, right? So this would be the foundation, the beginning of a real marriage, and everything. This is what I'm looking. I'm looking at like infrastructure, institution, and the woman wasn't thinking that way at all. She was just thinking, I take all the energy from one guy, I take it from another, and building her up didn't matter. She knew what she was doing. So given that situation, when you don't give your energy to her, you build yourself up, and what she does isn't important to you. It doesn't matter. You just don't care about it. And you just go and build your own life. And that's really the best thing to do. So guys like Logan um, don't understand this concept. And it's because it's indoctrination that you have in the West. And just to accept the woman no matter what and be thankful for her. And unfortunately, a lot of guys like him, like I would say myself included, get trapped, and then they get into a marriage where there starts to be problems. It looks good in the beginning, but then everything gets pinned on you, and you're like, wait, I didn't do this. Yeah.
Facts, bro. And let me just follow up on this, just how powerful the media is, to the point where I do my best to lock out any mainstream media in my life. I can admit that back in the day, I was dealing with some garbage chicks, right?
Mhm.
I would allow anything to fly. I didn't care about a past. And when I look back at that, I was thinking, IP, did you really deal with that 3 or 4 IP? IP, did you really deal with that chick IP? And then I remember my thinking process there, the way I was acting there. I was essentially a male feminist. I used to be a male feminist, bro. And
Yeah.
I used to be like, you go girl, girl power. And I used to go to, like, feminist classes, back up women. That was
Mhm.
part of the brainwashing that was inflicted upon me by mainstream media, the music, the people around me, the culture, to the point where I had to break free from that. Turn off, CNN, turn off all these Netflix programs that are slowly indoctrinating you with these garbage TV shows and films about feminism, woman this, woman that. It is dangerous. And that's part of what I call the matrix, brother. There is a matrix, brothers. There is something that is pushing out this crazy agenda to the point where it's actually impacted and affected a millionaire like Logan Paul. Break it down for us, Phil. What's your thoughts about that?
So I would think that, especially while growing up, I'm a Gen Xer, and I would say like myself and a lot of friends of mine, we didn't want to be involved in two areas. The first one was racism. Nobody wanted to be called a racist. And then the second one was sexist. No one wanted to be a sexist. So we were trying our best to not be a part of the problem. So let's look at racism real quick. Um, we knew that, well, of course, I would say we're not us because we're not a part of the problem in this area. But the general rule is don't treat somebody different because of their race, and you know, don't give them less salary because of the race. But everybody understood that when it came to dating, that some people wanted to date someone who's black and some people don't, and that was just life, and that was okay. But it really was coming down to work. You know, don't and work and education. Race cannot be an obstacle in there, because then it really defeats democracy or democratic ideals in the West. So we understood this. We're like, okay, cool. Okay, we got it, right? People are good. Okay, this is how I'm not a racist. Gotcha. When it came to feminism, I too didn't want to be called a sexist. So when I was in university, I took feminism courses, and I wanted to understand how maybe I was sexist. I didn't know if I was sexist or not. So is there some sort of built-in institutional sexism inside my brain? Is there something going on, right? And I took the courses and I learned about different things. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting things going on, right? Um, and I I took from it kind of the same thing like we'd have with racism. Don't discriminate for job or education based upon a woman's if someone's a woman or not. So okay, I understand that. Don't treat them differently because, or don't treat a woman less because she's a woman. Basically, I'm like, okay, that's good. The difference between the two is that with racism, we were like, okay, you understand that? We're done. We're going to walk away now. Thank you. Thank you for not lynching us anymore. That's good. Thanks. Okay, so we went on. But with sexism, no. They wanted power. They wanted control. They wanted a very different situation. They wanted to break down families and institutions. You don't see that with particularly us black men. We were just like, please don't shoot us in the streets. You're not going to shoot us in the streets. Cool. Right. All right. But we're not saying you shouldn't have a family. Right. Just don't shoot us. Like, you can have a gun. We understand you want to have a gun. We're down with that, but don't shoot us. We have a very different outcome in these two. We're not using power, whereas the women are. And this is, again, we're saying, like, again, I thought myself as a male feminist also. When I started looking at this, I was like, oh, no, I'm feeding a monster here. This is a true monster. And I have to deal with this. This is becoming narcissistic in nature. Because, again, if you say that you're not sexist, I'll be like, okay, cool. I'll say, if you say you're not racist to me, I'm like, okay, cool, let's go on with my life. But not being sexist leads to, why aren't you giving more time to women? Why aren't you doing more for women? Why aren't you doing this? More resource transfer to women. See how that works? It's always resource transfer to women. It's never stops. Whereas there's no resource transfer to men. When you see that, well, Black Lives Matter, a black man died. The people who profited it from this mainly were black women.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't see any black men becoming millionaires over that process. No. Nope. No, we died. We got shot. Right? So look at it. Look, guys, look at how the flows are. So I say, yeah, we're in a totally different world here. And guys, you guys don't follow the indoctrination. Don't be a part of it. You got to step away from the matrix here.
I want to add another thing here, right? And I just want to call out, right, that the life of a modern Western woman is extremely easy. There is no way on God's green earth that women in the West live harder lives than men. It is impossible. It is a false statement. I am rebuking that nonsense statement. Nina Dow, the upcoming wife of Logan Paul, has lived a life of debauchery, sleeping around in her 20s. And I've always said this, right? From 18 to 24, those are a woman's prime peak years for her to find a husband and a good man to wife up, right? She is past that golden age era. She ran through men at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23, 24. She is now in her early 30s, and she still managed to lock down a high value, rich, and wealthy man. Women in the West are living very simple, easy lives, right? Show me an example of a man that has messed up his 20s and still got with a high value, rich, and wealthy woman. Zero. It doesn't exist. It has never happened. Only once I can remember that. And this was with a rich heiress, and she married a criminal thug back in the day, right? In 2023, that isn't happening with any guy. But that's happening with a lot of women in the West. Getting married at 34, 33, spent her prime years running through dudes and ended up marrying a millionaire, a high-flying lawyer, etc., etc. in the West. Theo, do you agree with that statement, or am I wrong there, brother?
This was something that was taught in feminism courses. I remember that. I remember hearing this. And I look at you're right here. I want to give some feedback on this. And this goes right in line with Coach Greg Adams' Marriage Wheel and Rollo Tomasi's, but something timeline. I don't know what it is, so I can put it into the chat. But it's something that goes along with Rollo Tomasi. Basically, what you have are Western women thinking they can do anything they want sexually, which they can during their 20s, and that marriage is a form of slavery. So they use their bodies in order to secure the more resources that they can. And they can do anything that they want. Nobody can judge them, blah, 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 blah. They can do what they want. And then when they know that their sexual market value is decreasing, which is around 30, they use what they have left in order to secure a high value man or somebody who will wipe them up. And basically, when this happens, this woman is still used to riding the CC. She hasn't stopped. It just there's just no she's with one guy. So while she's with him, she can't stand his stability because in order for a guy to become high value, like myself, in order to do that, you have to sacrifice and have a lot of structure for a long period of time, which means there ain't no woman around. You ain't going out there riding multiple women or anything like that. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There's no woman there at all. And that's the only way the guy can actually attain getting high value. If you especially follow all the points you have with Kevin Samuels, having a woman around during that time period it's not going to happen. So he sacrifices, and he has a high lot of structure. So she has this free spirit, can do anything she wants, and she wants the money and the output, the marginal output from a highly structured man. These two are water and oil. It will not work. What actually is necessary, the man needs a woman who is used to structure, and that is a woman who's close to her father and has been properly raised up. But a woman who is used to the CC, she's going to die in the CC. That's how she is. Yeah, no, but she's going to go her whole life doing that way. Not going to stop. It's her desire. It's because her dopamine receptors is used to that thrill of a new man. And so when she talk about her sexual satisfaction, it's going to be with a new guy. Whereas if you have somebody who's structured and is used to getting dopamine from the marginal output of structure, from stability, then having a woman around or having that relationship, sure, it is dopamine also, but it needs to be within the structure. It needs to be within, stability. That's what I would say. It really means to be stable. And so there's no high from a new person, because a new person all the time is actually very destabilizing, and it rocks the structure, and the guy doesn't want that. So actually just having one woman or maybe two women, like there's two long-term relationships, but just basically focusing on one long-term relationship is where the guy is actually happiest, because it's stable, it's structured, there's growth. That's what he wants. He wants the growth. Whereas the woman who's on the CC loves the destruction, chaos, drama, and then the thrill of a new guy. Right?
Wow.
So you can't have these two together. It's impossible. And what's going to happen is it happens with so many guys. While her sexual market value is decreasing, she will get a guy, 2 or 3 years, get the baby, then say, oh, he's abusing me, blah, 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 because actually his structure prohibits her from riding the CC. That's all it is. And so then she has to leave. Oh, I was being abused. And then she's going to take half of his stuff, get part of his future revenues, again, asset transfer, and then she'll go back and ride the CC. Oh, I'm a free woman. And then she's going to try to get another guy after that. Yeah.
Yep.
And simp's going to go for her.
Yep. And then the same simp is going to be sleeping with her on your bed that you paid for in the house that you paid for. Brothers. Yeah. I want to swear so hard right now. I'm trying to keep it PG, man. This is a hustle. This is a game that Western women are playing in 2023. Open your eyes, man. Open your eyes and see the wickedness and evil that is flowing through the minds of Western women when it comes to throwing their prime years away, being thoughts, and then when they leave their primes, finding a rich, high value man. It is more common than you think. I also want to touch upon a point you said previously, right? And press a 1 in the live stream chat if this relates to you. I think a lot of us in our early adult years, we worked hard at university, we worked hard in college, we were studying every day in the library, and then we saw the women that were in our classes, right, hardly do any work, partying, living it up, sleeping around, and us being hardworking dudes. None of these beautiful chicks at university gave us any play. So here we are. We are sweating away many years to get those top grades, right? and these women ain't doing that. Okay, so when these women, right, when they graduate, when they get into corporate America, they continue doing the same thing. And now, once they've been ran through by Brad, Tyrone, whoever, they want to come back to you when you have reached your goals after all the hard work you put in. It is so common, Theo. It is so common. This is a game that brothers need to be aware of, man. And this is a game that Nina Dow is playing on Logan Paul. What's your thoughts about that, bro?
I totally agree. Very few women understand what it took for you to be who you are. They only understand that you are there. And they also don't understand, or they don't even acknowledge what your emotional state is or what you need as a human being. This is ridiculous. So, I mean, I've had women in my life before talk about how they were going to add value to me. And I'd be like, okay, can you describe the process of cloud computing? Or can you describe the process of this compliance within a data center? Because if you're going to add value to me, well, that's where I'm working at. So, I mean, let's talk about it. Let's see how you add value in those environments. She doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. Nothing. She has no idea. And so I'm looking at this person. I'm like, you have no idea what I'm doing or what it was necessary that I had to do in order to sacrifice or to get to my level. You have zero clue. You're sitting there, but all you're thinking about is, as normal as a Western woman, what I can give to you, your emotional state, how I can help you out, blah, 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 blah. I have to know everything about her. And I just look at her like, you're not worth it. This is why, again, I say, I want you guys to listen to this. It is very unlikely, or actually very, well, pretty much a zero, that if you're going to become a high-value man, that you have a woman next to you while you're doing it. Because they are moochers. They take and suck your energy away. The best thing you can have is a fling. For the most part, the women are not going to add value to you while you're attaining your high value status. If anything, they're a detraction and a destroyer. And that's what actually happened. It not only happened to me, but actually happens to other guys as well. I was a Henry. I had problems with my wife and my marriage. And I had rather destructive events happen. And boom, I got my failure. And then I came back from that, made sure there was no woman to me. I went to high value man. It took a while. It took about 8 years, but I did it. And I can see people saying not everyone's like that. Not everybody's high value, but that path, that pattern is very common. It's just that very few women stick around to see it, and they don't actually understand what it takes for the man to be successful. The women don't care. So guys, in that case, you don't need them. These Western women. You have to be like, okay, let's go for women who actually understand you as a human being. And I doubt you're going to find that in the West. I'm going to tell you this again. I'll switch over to UIP. I'm going to tell you guys again, if you're dating in the West, literally look at her in the eye and say, what value do you bring to my process? Or even, do you understand my process about how I'm successful in society? Do you have any clue what I'm doing? Can you explain it to me? Let's see what she says.
Facts, bro. Absolute facts. Shout out to Mr. Jerry Mo for the £5 super chat. Brothers, can we get more support flowing in? Hit the PayPal, hit the super chat, support what I'm doing. I am now going to be touching upon different topics, RP content, self-improvement content, passport bro content. We're going to give you brothers incredible valuable intel. Theo's tech blade so sharp and keen. In bite rounds, the unforeseen king. Clouds bend, servers yield with thee, our mentor and guide. He sets trouble free. That's a good one.
I like that one, Jay. I like that. I like that. I like that. That's good. I like that one. That's actually a good one. Thank you, Jay. I enjoy this every week. That's very good.
Do you and Jay have some sort of poetry competition going on in your classes, bro?
No. He keeps me honest, and sometimes there's a configuration that I can't get, or I follow the documentation, or it's changed when I last did it. So I'm like, what the hell? And he bails me out because he's doing it from a new point of view, whereas I'm very dogmatic, which is fine. That's got a good combo. But yeah, he's a good student. You should be making 150,000 a year.
Hopefully,
Well, no,
hopefully.
yeah.
Yes.
What
Can't wait
what
for
I'm
Jay.
thinking
Go on.
I'm thinking about doing is making a company, to be honest, and then with that I could use contracts to hire guys from the UK to work in the US, and then have all the job be remote. So
Amazing. Fantastic,
yeah,
Theo. Amazing. Um,
yeah.
fantastic, bro. So going on from that, Theo, right? So obviously, right, the West is horrible. The West is done for without a single doubt. I think,
Mhm,
self-improvement, RP content, self-improvement content that'll be pushed down my channel is going to be a
mhm,
gateway for you brothers to be a passport bro, which is IT, getting into IT, joining my Python classes, booking your IT consultations, going to Theo's upcoming conference, letting Theo teach you AWS. This all links together to being a passport bro, because this is the only way
mhm,
out of this horrible situation that Logan Paul is in. However, Theo,
mm,
there are some 304s abroad. Can you touch upon
mhm.
that, please, brother?
Okay, so there are definitely 304s abroad, but there's just not as many of them. It's just like, there's dollars. I'm going to give an example: British pounds. There are British pounds in the UK. There's also British pounds in America. Just not as many of them, but they're there. You just don't see them. You don't see them as often, but they're there. Um, so abroad, when we're talking about outside the West, yeah, there are 304s, and I would say, guys, as a passport bro, you need to learn how to avoid them. And the only way that you're really going to be doing that is by taking the Crimson Capsule and redesigning yourself, repurposing yourself. And you have to make yourself number one. You have to stop simping. You have to have your assets be used for yourself. You have to think about what's good for you, number one, from day one, and then understand what is the possible repercussions of being associated with a 304, or with any woman for that fact. And then just be very honest about what you're doing and what your goals truly are. And if you think about it, you think about the risk and what you have going for you, you will find that 304s aren't worth it. So for myself, again, I went 10 years monk mode. Um, I didn't care about women, particularly, again, the second year that I made $300,000 a year, the third year that I made $300,000 a year. I really didn't care. I wasn't lonely. I wasn't thinking about going on dates, because what I had in my process was so much more valuable than what any woman could possibly give to me in my life. And then again, 600,000, same thing. And I want to touch on one thing before I stop. What you said, IP, is very true, because the Western woman is going to, again, she calls it a starter husband, having a first husband, a starter husband. So she has no qualms being with you for a while, getting pregnant, then saying that she was abused and taking half your stuff in a divorce. And you have to know that your house and your bed is going to be used by another man. So before I go out on a date, even if I think a date, I just think, is this woman worth half of my money and me knowing who is banging her in my house? And that usually just stops the first date. That's it. I'm like, it's not even worth it. No, 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 no. It's not. No, not gonna happen. Just no. I don't care. I just I could go take a walk. I go take a cold shower. I don't need this woman. So you got to think of it like that, from that point of view, guys. I'm really honest about it. Is that woman worth the real price? Because what she's thinking is that she's just going to be with you for a while and take half your stuff, take a cold shower, get a few beers, and have a girls' night out, and she's going to forget all about you and have another Chad and Tyrone in her life. You're nothing. You better make your payments on time, or else you're a bad man. That's all it is.
Damn. Shout out to Mr. DN3001 for the $3 super chat. Appreciate you, DN3, for the support. Salute to you. Thank you to brothers for saving brothers' lives. Appreciate you both for the support and the kind words. Much appreciated, bro. So, are there particular countries, brother, where, abroad, where, the Logan Paul situation could happen? Thailand,
Yeah,
Philippines. Break it down for us, bro.
Ukraine. Yeah, Ukraine, Belarus, two prime areas. Russia. So Slavic women in particular can do this, can pull this to you. They have no qualms about this at all. In fact, Slavics can be so cunning and cold-blooded that she can have a child, hide the child, go out with a guy. Guy doesn't want a single mother. She says fine, and leaves. She leaves her kid with her mother or something else, and she goes off with her life and never talks to her own child again. Doesn't even matter. And then takes half the guy's money, and then does the same thing to another guy in the West. I've seen it happen. There's a woman here in Austin. I live here in Austin. She's Ukrainian. She pulled that twice with two American men. I was like, whoa, wow, that's interesting. Let's say it does happen. You have to be very aware of that with Slavs. Also, the next one would be Thai. Thai can definitely do that, particularly if it's to improve her family relations or improve her family value. So she can give more to her family with the next guy than she has with you. She'll do it in a heartbeat. So again, those two nationalities, I would say, I would also, of course, say Jamaica, Dominican Republic, but I don't consider them a part of the dateable area because they're, as far as I'm concerned, they're within the West. So again, Thailand and Slavs, those are the ones you really need to worry about this. Be careful about it because they don't mind taking it in the end from you. They can do it rather effectively.
Wow. Incredible. All right, so we're gonna open up the phone lines in a couple minutes to get you brothers to chime in on this discussion. This has been a very insightful discussion as to exposing the nature of how Western women get down in 2023. I think it's definitely war, and they're doing it very subtly, brothers. They are doing it very, very cunningly, using marriage as a weapon, knowing that the society, the laws, the media are for them and against men, and knowing that divorce benefits them the most. It is a silent war going on. Do you agree on that, Theo?
Entirely, and few men understood what was going on, and in particular Gen X, because Gen X, most of us grew up with feminism, and we didn't want to have a sexism label attached to us. So we thought that we're going to go into marriage simp, but by simping, we would solve the problems, and then we could make strong families. That was what our real goals were, but that was not what the woman was thinking. She was weaponizing marriage against the man, and also any kind of physical activity that goes weaponized against the man. And what it resulted in is a lot of men victims. And it didn't matter what economical status you were, your race, your educational background. It was equal across the board. And again, for myself, when I was blue-pilled, I thought I could escape that. I saw I could not. And I just saw how bad it was. And I was like, oh, no, we got to stop this. Again, when I was younger, I made the right decision. I used my passport. And guys, I would just say to you guys, honestly, you cannot win. The only way to win the marriage game in the West is not to play. So disengage and do not be with them. If you want to get married, if you actually want to have children, you need to leave the West and date abroad. And then do not bring her back, except for vacation. That's fine. But you need your own country needs to become a foreign country. And you basically immigrate to another country and you're there, and you're making money in the West, but you're living abroad, and that's it. You're happy. You have children, you can have happiness, you can have the whole shebang. And Western women will say this or that, blah, 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 blah. And I just say to them, show me your results. Show me where you had another man and you outperformed what I'm doing. or show me your results such that I regret my decisions. Because if you can't make me regret my decision, I'm good.
Absolute facts. Thank you there for that closing monologue there, Theo. Shout out to Mr. The Pathfinder's Journey for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you both for sharing your intelligence, insight, and wisdom. Y'all are saving men's lives. Yes, indeed. There's more self-improvement coming out on the way. I dropped a video an hour ago, regarding what it was called how the Matrix stops men from becoming free. Go and check out that video that I dropped an hour ago. I brought some game there for you, brothers, man.
It was good. I watched it. It was pretty good. You did a good job.
Thank you very much, Theo. Appreciate you, bro. Awesome. So let's get the callers in, man. So call in, brothers, call in, and yes, come and share your insight with us and chime in on this discussion. Theo, I think the only realistic solution to everything is becoming a passport bride. I don't see nothing else. I don't see yourself staying in the West, riding it out. The longer you stay in the West, the more miserable you become. I find myself very. Brother, hold on. I find myself very, on the edge. Angry. I'm like, bruv, I got to be around these women. But when I was in Japan in May, I was like, wow, I felt free, bro. I actually there was things to do every day. I woke up happy. I woke up around better women. Brother, man, get your passport, brothers, man. Come on, bro.
There's no real value in the West regarding relationships. You can't win. As long as particularly liberal Western women view marriage as a form of slavery or some sort of trafficking against them, and they view your resources that you work for to be owned by or easily transferred to women, that basically they want to nationalize the man. As long as they have that kind of idea, you cannot win. It's impossible. It literally is. They basically think as a man as being an annuity, an emotionless annuity who has no goals except to live to serve the Western woman. That's it. So basically, you're a battery in the Matrix. That's it. You have to leave. You can't win in that situation. It literally is impossible, guys. You have got to get out. That's why I don't date Western women. I have no purpose, nothing. And I see, again, here in Austin, I see more and more of them who are lonely out there. I don't care. I'm like, this is what you wanted. You're getting it right now. Fine. And I really encourage, again, Passport Bros. Guys, the men who are listening to our channel, to this channel right now, not our channel, but our discussion or our podcast, really becoming the best version of yourself is what your goal should be. And then when you recognize that and you realize that you get the cash flow from it, then making sure that you can use that in order to become a passport bro and stay for extended periods of time outside the West. I'm talking 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and actually establish a marriage and get a long-term relationship and actually have children and actually have prosperity and the whole thing. Because abroad, man, it's not that the women are poor, they respect your labor. That's it. That's all. It's kind of like, how I respect a woman's femininity. I respect that she gives childbirth, that she actually gives birth. I think that's amazing. I respect it highly. There's no demerit that I respect it. I'm a human being. I'm a mammal. I respect that because I'm civilized. That's it. So not respecting a man's part, who are you, man? Get to the streets. That's it. Go walk it.
Yes, indeed. I got a caller, just another Monica, brother. You good, brother? Can I bring you on with your camera on? Is that okay, bro? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, no. Okay, turn your camera off, brother. Turn your camera off. I see you there, that beautiful, that cute chica. Good man. He's abroad, man. What's going on, just another Monica? How you doing, bro?
Hey, can you hear me or no?
Loud and clear, bro. How you keeping, man?
All right, thank you. I've really been on your channel every day. I get so mad because I missed you, especially yesterday, by 5 minutes. You ended your stream, and I literally was on your channel 5 minutes after you ended your stream. I'm so mad, but I just want to check in. I try to call in. I check out your channel every day, but you understand I'm in Thailand, so sometimes it's just the time zone's a little bit different. But yeah, I just wanted to call in and say what's up. How are you doing?
Not bad, bro. Not bad. How you keeping, man?
That's you, Big Mac, right? That's you, Big Mac trucker, right?
No, I'm not Big Truck. No, I like Big Truck. I'm a fan of him, but I'm not Big Truck. I'm just a rocker. I'm in Thailand. If you remember me before, we talked last Tuesday, and we talked about like the new law in Florida because I live in Miami. If you remember.
Okay, I remember you. Yeah, okay.
I'm still in Thailand. I'm with my my girl. You want to say your name? Bu.
Hello.
She don't speak too much English. She don't speak too much English. She don't want to like talk. I know you've seen her before. I know you've seen her when right before we got in, right? IP,
yes.
right? IP. Yeah. She's a cute girl, right?
She's cute, bro. She's cute, man. A good job. How did you meet her?
I was in the restaurant. You know, I was in a restaurant. I said, "What's up?" and we kind of just hit it up from there. But
Good.
Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to, I saw your title about the Logan Paul's marriage. This is the first time where I've kind of heard your stream for the past 30 minutes. So usually before I kind of call in right when you start your the callers, but I've actually heard you for the past 30 minutes, so I kind of heard what you were talking about. Yeah, I think this is part. Look, I'll be honest with you. There is no way someone who makes that much money does not know about the RP, if you know what I'm saying. Like Logan Paul, he must know about this. So I think that he is getting paid to not to like promote the BLP, if you know what I'm saying, the BP. Yeah. So there's RP and there's a BP. You know what I mean? I think he's getting paid to do this because there's no way he does not know about this. I mean, he's boxed with KSI.
No. There's a lot of millionaires who are simps.
There's no way. You believe this, Theo? You believe this?
Yes, I've seen it with my own eyes. And of course,
he's an internet personality. He's an internet personality. There's no he hasn't been on the internet and he's seen this stuff. You don't think he's seen this stuff?
I think he's a simp. He's been raised to be a simp, but he doesn't have exposure properly to the RP, and therefore he's going off as normal. Dude, I know millionaires who married working girls. Okay, it wasn't just.
I will believe you. I'll believe you because you know what? You want to know why? And I don't want you to judge me. But my brother, I'm not gonna say my older, my younger brother, but my brother, he talked to me earlier today. He wants to marry a girl that's older than him, and I was like, dude, no way, dude. You're not marrying a girl that's older than you. Never. It don't matter how good she is, how nice she is. Now he's from the U.S., so he wants to marry a girl in the U.S. He doesn't want to go overseas. He don't want to learn a new language like I did. He just wants to marry a girl in the U.S. And the girl's older than him. I'm like, dude, are you serious? No way, dude. No way.
Yeah. Is she American or is she foreign?
She's American. He doesn't want to marry a girl that's foreign. He doesn't want to do that. He knows about me. That I've traveled. Yeah. He knows what I do.
Yeah, he has to learn the hard way. That's the thing.
No. Theo, please, no. He's my brother. He wants to learn the hard way. He's gonna get married. That's not.
The thing is that nobody can RP a man like a woman. It's just impossible. He's gonna keep on going because he's going according to his prime directive. So he's gonna keep on going until the woman shows him who she is, and he accepts who she is, and he sees the danger within. Then he'll change.
Theo, no. He's gonna get married to her. Do you understand what that's like?
I know. I got married too.
I've heard your story. I know what it's like. I know you were married in Japan, and RIP your wife. But getting married in America is a completely different story. I told him, I will slap him. I will come to America. I'm not in America right now. I will come back to America just to slap him if he's going to be serious about this. There's no way I will allow him to marry an American woman. There's no way. The laws are not made for it. And he lives in a blue state. He's in a blue state, not a red state, but a blue state. He's not living in Florida. He's not living in Tennessee. He lives in a blue state.
You can only negotiate with him because he has the right to pursue happiness, unfortunately. That's all you can do. And you can only, what I always say to these guys is, no matter what you do, no matter what happens, remember, I always have a cup of coffee ready for you if you want to talk.
No.
And that's all I can say.
No. It's okay for you because you're not related to him. He is my brother. I will go to jail for him. If I can beat his ass, I'm sorry. So if I have to beat his behind to do this, I will do so. I will go to jail. I'm not gonna let him do this.
So you are brothers. So brothers could do that. That is something that I'll give you. Yeah, you could actually do that. And I would recommend you to do that. Right. So all power to you on that one. But in the end, if he's devoted, there's nothing you can do.
No,
Theo, no, Theo, no.
It's nothing you can do, bro.
Go ahead.
It's nothing you can do, bro.
No, in the end,
in the end,
like if you've done all the damage to him, he's on the ground, he can't breathe anymore, and he's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. I just love me, I'm your brother. Like,
Theo,
he's like,
have you seen what I look like? Have you seen what I look like in the background?
No.
I'm a pretty strong guy. I think if I need to do what I need to do, he'll understand. Like, I think.
Hey, don't go to prison, brother. I'm telling you this for over. I'll tell you this, brother. Right? What race is she?
I haven't seen her yet. I just know her age, and her age is enough for me to be like, no. So I have not seen her in person yet. I've not seen her picture. I just talked to him literally yesterday. He told me about.
Is she older? Is she older?
Yes. But like, he's older than me. Older than me. I'm older than my brother by 2 years, and she's older than me.
Yeah, my Japanese wife was 2 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah, I was total simp, man. I was simping hard.
Yeah, but you were married before the RP was in the internet. Like, that's different. I don't blame you for that. But now
no, there was. I mean, yeah, that's true. But I mean, I was reading sources. I was aware of some things when I was before I got married, right?
Yeah, but you were married before the internet was like big, before the RP was on the internet. I do not blame you for doing that. But the thing is, he knows this. It's not only me that's telling him this. My older brother, who's on the same page as me, he tells him this too. So if he does this, then he's a complete and total idiot. He's a complete and total idiot.
Okay.
I have another caller. Gone.
I'm gonna say maybe have a little you two brothers have a conversation with this one brother, and just take him out of internet range for one day to someplace and do what brothers do in order to communicate rationality. That's all I'm gonna say, because this is IP's channel. I don't want him to get demonetized. But it's like, just do what's necessary. That's what I would say. If you could do that as brothers, more power to you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Justin of Monica. Mr. Fives, can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you're not a troll real quick? Thank you, Fives. You are confirmed. Turn your
yeah. The Thai girl that he has with him, does she have a sister? Your sister. Can she come over here?
She does, but I'm not sure if you would want her. She does, though. Anyway.
Okay.
Let me bring in Mr. Five in the background. Put yourself on mute, just Monica. Let's go. What's going on, Fives?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Not bad, bro. Not bad. How are you?
Oh, sorry for the ambient noise. I'm doing laundry. Am I good now? Everything clear?
Hopefully one day, brother, your foreign wife will be doing laundry for you, brother. You should never be touching laundry, but hopefully when you get that Japanese chick or Korean chick, she'll be doing laundry for you, bro.
Yeah. Yep. Theo, you good?
I've done laundry since I was 18. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I just do it. It's just laundry. Just press the button.
And, I'm sorry, I missed the name. Our other guest. What's your name again?
Just another Monica.
JM. Thank you.
Yeah. JM. Okay. I am going to touch on the Logan Paul subject, but let me talk to you personally, man to man, as somebody who also has a brother who also is trapped in the system because he's a baby mom. And you can go back and check the receipts. Theo knows, IP knows, I've been on record on this channel and I've tried to talk to him, you got to let him make his mistakes, bro. You got to let him fail. My brother has watched me fail. I've watched him fail several times. I love him. I mean, now it's kind of too late, but he's even asking me about the whole passport bros things because I went to Japan, I went to Panama, I went to Guam, I went to a whole bunch of places. I just help him where he is. And even though I told him about the whole paternity test thing, even though I tried to warn him, Theo and IP are right. There is nothing you can do except for, I guess in my case, I help him where he is. And that's all I'll say about that.
Vibes. So I've heard your entire conversation. I've listened to all the streams. I've heard what you said. I've heard all the streams. I think you're saying that a little bit. I don't want to say that it's cope, but I kind of do want to say it's cope. My brother has not made a mistake that's irreversible yet. He has not impregnated this woman. For you and your brother or your friend, he has made a mistake that's irreversible. My brother has not done that yet. I did not want him to make that mistake. So I will do what I need to do. If that requires a little bit of force, you know what I mean? I will do what I need to do. I'll be back in the States next month to do what I need to do. But I'm not going to just let him make a mistake that's irreversible. That's 18 years of damage. I will not do that. If it takes me being in jail for 6 months or a year,
right. Don't do that.
If it takes me, yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, the Logan Paul situation. I saw your video. That's why I think that the powers that be are letting this happen, because I saw your video. There's no way, as a man, he makes over $1 million a year, like several million per year. I make 6 figures, and there's no way I would allow myself to be embarrassed by marrying a woman that is going to embarrass me with her past. So the fact that Logan Paul is willing to, after he's been exposed, after his wife's been exposed of all this stuff, he's still gonna marry her. That tells me that there's something bigger than him that's allowing him to do this. There's just no way. Like, as a man, there's something called pride. You know what I mean? If you have pride, you're not willing to do something. You're not willing to do certain things because you know that essentially your ego is going to be checked if you're going to check a woman. And so I think with Logan Paul, I think with him, I think there's powers bigger than him that's telling him to intermingle with this woman, because there's no way.
Actually, that's a good point. Actually, so that is a good point. You know, maybe, but let me go to Five's chime in, because we ain't got much time left. Go on, Five. What's your thoughts about this topic?
I mean, unlike most other streams, it's short and sweet for me. I look at that from a business perspective. Y'all ever notice that even since the Vine days, Logan Paul has been shrouded in controversy? This man literally cannot go anywhere near 6 months without being caught up in some sort of controversy of some kind, whether it be Japan or the crypto or whatever. So from my business background and my business perspective, this is going to sound crazy to y'all, but this is an ingenious move. This makes him relevant again, because when was the last time we were talking about him? He had just come off of 2 crypto schemes and some boxing matches, right? But now that he's got this, lady in his corner, right? And, you can build up her social media and bring in a crowd that maybe he didn't have before, and that can perpetuate his social media. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it. Like, this is just all money and all business to me. This is still perpetuating the message, and a really bad one, which is why I don't watch them in the first place. But y'all get what I mean? Y'all ever think about that?
That's a good point. Phil, what's your thoughts about that, Phil? Their points.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, I usually just look at it a more human point of view, that she has some sort of value that's more than just physical, and then he's somewhat attracted to it. But he's thinking to keep it instead of just, using it for a while and tossing it back. Because he can use her for clout for like a month and then get the clout. He doesn't have to put a ring on it. And so for some reason he's not doing that. I don't know why. So I think there's something a little bit more going on with him. He actually wants her to some degree. I don't know why, but he does. And that's why he's doing it. I wouldn't. I mean, I would be like, yeah, I know what you are. There's another one like you. I avoid both of you, so like I'll just avoid you. But again, he's 28. That's what I say.
He's an adult. He's a grown adult, and I mean,
It's the lowest part of the marriage wheel. 28 to 32 is the lowest age, the most vulnerable time for men.
ooh,
It's the
why is
time
that?
that they're most likely, because they've gone so long without any woman being around. Their value is increasing a little bit, and the woman's value is decreasing. So they think that they can get her. So they're just like, I'll get what I can right now without, they don't have an abundance mentality because they've never really had it. Even a millionaire can have this idea. So he's not going to have, like I would say, for as a man, it doesn't really start until you're 35. So at that point, at 35, he would never make this decision he's making at 28. But he's 28 now. He is where he is now, and he's vulnerable, and he has this thinking, and that's why she can get what she wants from him.
Bruv, I can't believe this, man. I think the West is beating down men so much to the point where millionaires are accepting low value chicks at 28. At 28, he should be dealing with 21, 22, 23-year-old woman, not 31. Not 31. What kind of life is that, Brent? You're a millionaire earning $2 million a month, and you're dealing with a chick that's 31. He needs a slap. Yeah, like JM said, at some point, man, you just got to backslap these dudes and to get back to reality, bro.
So you have to look at what the indoctrination was in him growing up. See, in hindsight, if I go back to my 28-year-old self in Japan, although I loved my wife, I would say, just date her, now you're done, okay? Because she's 30, you're 28, you're making $120,000 a year. No 28-year-old makes that. You're 6 feet tall, you're black, you're built, and you're at your station is the beginning of about 10 female colleges. So all you need to do is just go to these colleges and sit at a cafe and sit there and talk to girls, and you can date 20-year-olds. But I didn't see it that way when I was 28. Not at all. So, yeah.
Damn, Phil, were you 6'2" at 28?
I was 6 feet tall when I was 14.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, man, options, man. There you go, brothers, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the Western indoctrination system is so strong, man. It even got me. It took me years to break out of it, you know. And when you break out of it, it's like going from seeing black and white to seeing colored, right? Seeing blue, green, red, whatever, you know, orange, pink. It's that powerful, brothers. JM, you want to chime in, bro?
I'm glad you called me in because I want to talk a little bit what Theo was saying. Look, this is the reason why I think that the powers that be is incentivizing Logan Paul to do this. Because look, in my opinion, I've been in Logan Paul's situation. I'm a little bit younger than him, but not by much. There's no way. Like, I don't have as much money as Logan Paul does, but when I was his age, actually, well, I'm not his age now, but when I was in a situation, there was no way I was willing to settle for one chick. I was willing to essentially just be with as many girls as I wanted to be. And if I was in a situation where the girl that I was with was going to embarrass me, there was no way I was going to settle for her. This is the reason why I think that the powers that be is essentially incentivizing him to do this. Because I just don't see a situation where he's willing to embarrass himself in public for this woman. I just don't see it. Maybe I don't think I'm that much better looking than him. Pete, you've seen what I look like. Theo, you've seen what I look like. I don't think I'm that much better looking than him. So I don't think he's willing to take a risk for this woman like that. His woman is not that good looking. I think the woman I'm with is in par, if not better looking than the woman that he's with right now, in my opinion. So I just think there's some sort of incentive that's making him do this because it just doesn't make sense at all. But what I will say is this, right? Theo, I'm like you. I was 6 feet at 14 as well. But I didn't know about the situation until I got older, right? I didn't know about my value, right? And what I will say is this, right? If you know your value, there's no way you're going to make the decision Logan Paul makes. This is the reason why I think there's some sort of an incentive for him to do this, because he's not that dumb. Like, we think he's dumb. We think, oh, he's just stupid. He's just making a dumb decision. But I just think that once you reach the level of Logan Paul, there's like he talks to the powers that be that makes him do this, because there's too many people that's watching him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I've been in a situation, and there's no way I would make the decision he's making. So I just think,
I would just look at his father's relationship, the relationship between him and his father, and then if he has a pastor, some sort of religious person around, and see what the relationship is there. And if he has some sort of like not altruistic or family related reason to want to get married to a woman like this, that's where you're going to find the motivation. That's where it's really coming from.
Yeah, but you mentioned his previous sorry, go ahead, Bobby. Sorry, go ahead.
Let me bring in fives because we've got to show the time cover. We ain't got too much time left here. Brothers, feel free to call in. We got 20 minutes left. We're gonna end the stream in the 1 hour 30 minutes mark. No 3 hour streams, no 4 hours. I've got some things to do in the morning, brothers. All right, so let me, before I bring in fives, right? This is a very interesting comment. When I was 28, I felt guilty about dating college girls. I don't blame you, bro. The powers that be, the brainwashing system tells you if you don't date women your age or older, you're a creep, which is wrong. Since the beginning of time, it has been normal for a 28-year-old man to be walking side by side, holding hands with a 20-year-old, 21, 22, 23. Forget the West. Now I'm 38, and I couldn't imagine dating a woman over 30. Same here, man. Women over 30, they don't exist to me, right? They just don't. Would you agree, Sophia? Why would you date a woman over 30?
Yeah. I was just talking about to somebody else about a woman in Colombia who's 24. And I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely the way it is. But you see, within feminism, the idea of us dating outside of not only race but also non-age appropriate is looked at as bad. So it's kind of weird. The women can date anyone they want, literally, but we can only date a certain age range. And the same way, us as Black men can only date ABW, or for you in the UK, UKW, right? UKBW, right? So there's a limitation. We're controlled, but what they can do is anything they want. That's because we are like the battery in the matrix for them. And if we do what we want to do, they don't have access to our resources on demand, which is what they want. And then once they have that, they can do monkey branching. Very classic. So in this case, this guy does not understand what's going on. And I would say to you, your brother also doesn't understand what's going on. He just doesn't. So there's something in there that it's kind of like, I, as a man, have got to do like A, B, C, and I have the constraints of D, E. And that program is inside of him. And until that like algorithm or that script is broken, he's going to follow through and execute his application. There's nothing we can do about it. So I know you sound like a good brother. I don't have a brother, but as you're talking, I was like, if I had a brother, maybe I would have that kind of relationship. So, okay, I think that's a permissible between brothers. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Brothers, can we get the likes up, please, and hit the support? Please hit the like button. Send in some donations, super chats, PayPal donations. That would be greatly appreciated. But at the very least, like the video, like the stream. That would be greatly appreciated. Let me bring in fives there. You want to chime in, fives?
Yeah. So as far as Logan Paul himself, honestly, forget him just as a person, right? Notice this with all celebrities, right? If I mention names like John Morant, if I mention names like PJ Williams, if I mention names like Zion Williamson, right? This is gonna be PJ Washington. I mixed it up. If I mention all these names of all these people who have had troubles or baby mama drama or court drama or whatever, right? What do they all have in common, right? They were successful way too young, right? And they were like, they just had everything given to them. They haven't had to scrape, struggle, strike, and survive like most of us in this chat have. So things just come natural and things come easy. Even my older brother, right? I have never been the Casanova of my family. All those genes went to him. I was the one who decided to travel and use and abuse my passport. The reason I bring up this difference is I think if we're talking about a characteristic and a human standpoint, the main reason why people like Logan Paul and people of his spectrum, right, the A-list internet celebrities and all those guys can't really break out of the matrix, quote unquote, is because now that they're in a position of success, the matrix has nothing. They have no incentive to just dispel them. They now bring in. They're the 1%. They bring in the most revenue and the most eyes and the most butts and seats and the most all that stuff. So what are they going to do? They're going to throw at him what has Theo and IP always said? A lot of us are just one favor. You can't see my hand quotes, but favor away from going back to the plantation. That is exactly what's happening. And to Theo's point, I'm actually about to hit that 28 to 32 range. And I ended up getting my first Henry job recently, right? I'm telling y'all that I'm moving to a different state, that I'm getting my first Henry job. Now I'm all of a sudden getting dates and getting hit up by all these women. Why is that? Why is that? Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic that when I was overseas in Germany and broke, working in the US military, nobody wanted me. But as soon as I get an MBA and I get letters and I get certs and I'm messing with y'all and I'm getting jobs in different states that are now paying me a handsome salary, now I want to go, oh yeah, that's totally not planned whatsoever, right?
Yeah, because you're a good candidate for that first marriage. That's it. You can provide her assets. So after that 3 years of abuse that she has with you, she is then can be entitled to your assets. So now you have shown the value financially to her. That's it. I think it's horrible. I this again, the more I see this in the West, I'm just like, oh, this is absolutely bad. And it's like again a broken. Again, Crimson Cure talks about this. It's what is it, the broken value system? I think that's how she says it. This is just absolutely despotic, and you can't make a family in it. You know, honestly speaking, Fives, with the money you're about to be making, you should definitely have like a 20 or 21-year-old eyeing you and saying like, hey, I haven't been with a guy before. I know how to make a family. I have this and that value that I can bring to you. Do you want kids? And she should be flirting with you all the time and saying like, yeah, I'm available to make a family with you, right? I guarantee you don't have any kind of option like that at any age range, right?
Yeah, that's exactly. As a matter of fact, because I've done such a good job at taking care of my health, and people at the checkout counter, because again, I'm still here in Gainesville, they're telling me that I look like a freshman. I am 27, by the way, and I look like I'm 19. I get away with, because I run with my shirt off and I get as much vitamin D as I possible. Girls are checking me out now, but I'm like, it's too late. And that's the main, I'm sorry to exacerbate this point, but that is the main striking point I wanted to hit before I go tonight, is that is the difference between somebody like me and Theo and IP and somebody like Logan Paul, John Morant, or like Zion Williamson, right? Is that we've been overseas. So once you do that, it's too late. Like we already know. We can see through the thinly veiled wall of your, faux femininity or whatever you consider as femininity. Like we know what's on the other side. We have our goal now. So you can't stop us.
Yep. Facts. Absolute facts. And that's what we're saying. Use the West to your benefit, and that's the resources it has, the opportunities there, but you're gonna find your girlfriend or wife abroad. That is the way forward. Never date or marry a Western woman ever in your life. Don't even smash them. I'm at a point where I don't even smash the Western chick anymore. I don't need to. You're like, don't smash them, brothers. Don't do it.
Yeah.
IP. I just want to reiterate your sentiment. I'm telling you, right? I remember I was watching a video from yours. You said if you wanted to, even if you could smash them, like a lot of people cannot smash the women from the West, but even if you could, would you want to? And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I could. And I realized later, I don't want to do that. It's not worth it to me. I told you this before. You've heard my story. It's actually my life worse since I've been able to commingle with these Western women. It's not worth it. Once you go overseas, and like I said, I didn't go overseas until this year. Once you go overseas, you just realize that your value is so much higher than what is portrayed in the West. And fives, I agree with you personally. I agree with you so much. I understand exactly how you feel, right? I felt the same way when I was in high school. The only difference between I think me and you is that when I was in college, the women gave me play. But once I realized that the women here have really not much to offer, because this is what I was talking to my brother. I was talking to my brother 2 days ago, my older brother, not my younger brother, Theo, not my younger brother. My younger brother is the one he's entertaining the women here. But my older brother, he's awake. So I was talking to him and I was saying, because he just uses the women for fun. And I was like, I thought I just wanted to have a lot of fun with a lot of women. But when I came overseas, I noticed a pattern. Once I leave overseas, I find a girl that I like, and I just stay with her. And I thought I would want to be with. I thought essentially I want to be a Pookie, or a Ray Ray. But once I go overseas, I just find a woman that I like, and I just stay with her the entire time. And this is what I realized. I've realized that essentially, when I'm in the West, in my country, the U.S., I just want to have a lot of women because that's all they have to offer is fun time, if you know what I mean. Keep it up, G for IP, right? Rhyme accidentally. But when I'm outside of the US, I notice that the women here they actually have substance. And even though I can literally have a different woman every single day in my country, like where I'm at right now, but I don't feel the urge to do that. I just want to be with my girl the entire time. Like, I like her so much. I just want to be with her the entire time. And I just noticed, I thought that I wanted to have a lot of different women. And they portray that, they put that in the media. They say, oh, have a lot of different women. But once you leave the US, once you leave the West, you realize that essentially the reason why you think that is because the women here only have XXX time for you. And once you leave the US, you can meet a girl that's actually willing to that actually gives you more than just the fun time. Look, she'll give you everything else. Everything that she'll give you femininity, she'll give you the soft touch of a woman, she'll give you yeah. I mean, I just like you know what I'm talking about, Theo and IP.
Yeah. I had the same feeling when I was in Brazil. I saw women and I was like, Theo, you're illogical, you're suffering. Like, I would say like this: you're at a disadvantage with not having a wife, and these women are showing you that your life would be better with one of them as a wife. Where I was like, I would never. I'm pretty sure I told that in IP stream when I was in Sao Paulo. I would never have that in the West, not at all. It's complete opposite. I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have you around. But in Sao Paulo, I don't know how many times I meet a woman, I was like, you just showed me that I'm an idiot for being single. Right? So this is pretty much the way, that's what you're going along. And yeah, of course, I like just having one woman. You don't need a plate.
Yeah, but the point I just want to reiterate is that you don't need multiple women. It's just in the West, you feel the need to have multiple women because the only thing they have to offer is their pleasure. But outside of the US, the woman has everything to offer. She has her femininity, she has her soft touch, she has her compassion, she has everything to offer. So you don't feel the need to be a Pookie or a Ray Ray. The only time I feel the need to be a Pookie is when I'm in the US. Outside the US, I just want to be with one woman and one woman only.
And that's not normal. It's not normal for you to be a fag to get a chick, and that's what we're saying, that the West is something wrong, and that's why I call it the Matrix nowadays. There's something wrong in the system. You should not be a fag to get a girlfriend. That's not right. And go on, Theo. We're gonna have to wrap it up soon.
Oh, I was saying because it's ABW's programming. Something is wrong there. It's affecting the culture. How many times have I said on your streams with South Korean women? I talk to them. I'm not even thinking about banging her. I'm just talking to her, and then after the conversation, I feel sad that she is gone. Like, it's not a physical thing. I actually want her around because my life was improved while having her around. I was a better person. And you rarely find that in the West. If it's like a Western woman, no, it's usually some sort of immigrant. If you have it in the West, it won't be someone who's actually born in the West. But you go abroad, that kind of experience is often happens because the women have something to bring. So
Facts. All right. So, Five's last statement or comment, and after that, JM, and we're gonna wrap it up. Go on, Fives.
All right. So, like I always do, I gotta give people their flowers when it is due. So, Theo, you were absolutely right about Miss Ukrainian woman that I met the other day. It's getting to the point now where they'll get here and you'll do a 360 in real time in a few seconds, and then they're automatically westernized. Yeah. It's just you can't do it here. It doesn't matter where they come from or how long they've been here. The system is getting better at just churning out the harbingers of the message. And it's even gotten to the point where Brazil is getting infected. Now I have to change my game plan. I don't know if I can go to Brazil or if I want to do Brazil anymore. So I guess my final statement is that I guess we just all got to remember that being celebrity is basically the equivalent of the golden BM from American Dad, if anybody's seen that episode. It looks pretty, it looks shiny, but just remember, it's still, you can make it smell like a rose, but it's still bad. It's still just fake. And with that, I'm gonna leave y'all to it, and have a great rest of y'all night. Thank y'all for having me on.
Before you go, Fives, can you break down this Ukrainian woman situation? I kind of forgot what happened. So did you meet one in the West, and then she did a 360 on you? Give us the whole story, brother.
Okay, all right. It's short, but yeah. If you remember in the previous stream, I was talking to Theo about some distractions while us brothers here in the States and the UK kind of bide our time, build ourselves up, build our assets, get out of debt, all that good stuff. You get distracted because a lot of Ukrainian refugees and a lot of people from other countries come here to America, whether it's study abroad or whatever the case is, right? That happened to me. This Ukrainian woman was working like mad, and she was, very sweet and kind, and she had her femininity from when she was in Ukraine. But I saw her today, and she's laughing and rubbing elbows and doing all this other stuff with the women who got the neck tattoos and all this other stuff. I'm just kind of like, well, that's the end of that. I mean, it happens that quick. Like, I was like, Jesus, you couldn't even wait a month? Like, okay. Like,
I'm telling you, man, it's a system, it's the matrix, and it is done on purpose. The powers that be know what they're doing. They are against traditionalism. They are against religion. There's a reason why they're going after Trump. And I'm not saying Trump is perfect, but I mean, his trial for the so-called interference is happening next year in March 2024, around the time when the election starts picking up. It's all done by the system, the matrix, right? These people are not playing any games. They want the world to turn upside down. They don't want traditionalism. They don't want women to be virgins at 22, 21. They just want a filthy, degenerate culture, and we need to fight back against them, or else they're going to ruin our lives, our children's lives, and turn them into mindless zombies. God forbid. It is war. It is war, brothers. I'm telling you, they're not playing any games. They're going to war against us. Therefore, we're going to war against them. JM, do you have any closing statement?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm glad that I was able to attend this stream. I've literally checked every single day for your streams. When do you start your stream, IP? Because I've been checking every single day, and I just always miss you.
So it's normally at 8:30 p.m. EST.
EST.
Yes.
Yeah, particularly on Monday. This is when we have our stream. But for some reason, it looks like IP is a vampire, and the sun's going to come up a little earlier, so he needs to avoid the sunlight. That's why he's at Canada. It's a little earlier, and this isn't such a long stream. So
I get so mad when I see that he streamed and I miss it. Especially yesterday, I missed his stream by 5 minutes. I heard him saying call in, or otherwise I ended the stream early, and I missed it by 5 minutes. He ended the stream. I was so mad. But I will say, in regards to the into the topic, I personally think that Logan Paul is aware of the situation. I think that he's getting Look, I'm not sure what incentive there is, but I just think there's no way. He's not RP aware. There's just no way. I don't believe that for a second.
No RP aware, impossible.
Yeah, I mean, especially in 2023, there's just no way. Maybe in 2013, maybe when you got married to your wife, sure, but now, no way. No way. I don't think he's not RP aware. Especially with how famous he is. He has all the fans hitting him up. There's just no way he's not RP aware. What I will say is that for the people that are not RP aware, right, do not deal with women in the West, right? Like I said, if you can get the women in the West, a lot of people can't get the women in the West. But even if you can, you do not want to deal with the women in the West. It will make you worse. Trust me, I'm telling you from experience. I'm telling you from this personally. That will make your life worse. You do not want to deal with the women here, right? You think you want to have a lot of women. You think you want to be like the X-rated stars. You want to have a lot of different women all the different times. But I'm telling you, if it's a good woman that's good to you, you will be content with that. And I've been content with that personally. Once I've left the US, I mean, especially where I'm here in Thailand, I've just been content with just one woman. I could have had a different woman every single day of every single night that I've been here. But I do not want that. I've been content with the same girl that I've been with. And I just been happy. So so like I said, get your passports. Do not stay in the West. If you stay in the West, the laws will get you. Even if you're in Tennessee, even if you're in Florida, in the state that I live in, it will get you. Not matter. So just leave abroad and have your family abroad. Have as many kids as you want, and there you go. Sorry about that.
Thank you, bro. Are you from New York? If I'm maybe asking, bro, are you from NY?
Yeah, New York, New Jersey. Remember, you call my calls out. You call my calls out.
You have a very strong New Yorker accent. Thank you, Jay.
I'm sorry. You presented my calls before. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit inebriated, and I'll just let you go from that.
Okay. No worries, bro. Peace out. Shout out to our New York brothers. Shout out to Mr. Black Dragon 10K for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to IP the GOAT and Theo the Godfather. Yes, indeed. Thank you, bro. Salutes. Much appreciated. Mr. Theo, do you have any closing statements?
Good stream. And guys, you gotta remember, not everyone can get RP'd quickly, and no matter what is there, it really requires an interchange by the man in order for him to wake up. And a lot of times it's going to be the woman who does that to him. And how many times I had a good friend, I'll say this in 30 seconds. Good friend, I was marrying an ABW. I told him what was up. I said, you're in trouble. She's a single mother. You have various issues. He totally went crazy, said, I'm full of crap. He unfriended me. I was like, I know your family. He unfriended me. She blocked me. He blocked me. 1 year later, he wasn't on Facebook anymore. She was still there. There's no marriage going on. And he was hurt, basically. I asked around what's going on, and she used him and got what she wanted, and she continued on with life. And I was like, I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I'm not going to say that I told you so. What I'm going to say is, I have a cup of coffee here. Anytime you want to talk, we can talk. But, it happened to all of us. So I'm not going to assign blame, because me winning meant you lost, and you losing doesn't make me happy. I would rather you win and you be happy, but you're not. So if you're here and you want to talk about how to recover in life, I'm here to talk with you. So we do this in class. This is always open. Hey guys, this is what we do. When you use that passport abroad, make sure you don't date no 304. Make sure you have the Crimson Capsule taken 100%. You know what you're doing, and you don't go out there simping, guys. Been a good stream. It looks like you're a human today and not a vampire. So I hope you get some sleep, IP. Maybe I'll sleep too. I'm going to go to the gym and exercise,
Thank you very much, Theo, for the kind words. Thank you, bro. As Theo told you how to spot 304s, how to find a wife. It's all on the channel. I asked the right questions. Join the Patreon. Check out the live streams here on countries that matter for you. All the intel is here. And as I end this live stream, make sure you sign up for Theo's upcoming conference. Please sign up for it. Be aware that my Patreon classes open up on the first week of September, so make sure you join, brothers. And to end it, there are 4 phrases to say to Western women. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. And goodbye. That's all you gotta say, nothing less, nothing more. Shout out to Theo Waff. I'm International Passport, and I'll see you brothers on the next live stream next week. I got a couple of streams coming this week, more content coming your way, self-improvement, RP stuff, Passport Bro content, the whole 9. Yeah, let's get it, brothers. All right, peace out, brothers. Yeah, thank you, Theo. Salute.
Talk to you later.
Peace out, bro.